That's what we needed right here.
Yes, it comes true again.
I feel like you're cursing it though. That's not a nice thing to do.
I'm so good with these Renekton predictions, unfortunately. I don't want this power. And
with great power comes great responsibility, Valdez, and you have been very irresponsible.
I'm just gonna stop predicting it, but hey, I mean, Dudu looked good on it, and he was into technically a counter matchup. This time around, he gets to have a little bit of fun, especially early on here up against the Camille. He is going to have a lot more fun, and he's got Haru on Lehends too, who can be a bit more proactive. I don't mind it in this situation. They're going up against some really hard engage as well. You look at the last couple of picks for Hanwha Life, and they go ahead and pick Pantheon Camille when they already had, you know, Ashe, Zoe, and stuff like this. So rather than going for the range and pokey style with those two champions, they're going for the pick and engage style with, you know, bubbles, arrows, obviously the Camille and the Volibear running straight at them, and Pantheon as well. So effort trying to take a page here out of Beryl's book.
Exactly. And the Pantheon has certainly worked out very, very well for Beryl. I believe currently sitting on 6-1 on the champion, or 5-1, something right. 6-1 right now. So definitely showing that the Pantheon does work. We'll see how Effort's going to do with the champion, though, as once again, it's a lot of topside focus at the beginning of this game. And we'll see whether Viper and Lehends are just going to be able to play it out very systematically and get to the Aphelios 2-3 item spike and take over this game. It's a very comfortable comp here for Hanwha Life, even if the R5 Renekton made us, you know, a little bit ill.
Is that? He's taking Cleanse up in the top side again.
Did he forget to change his rune?
Summon his spell? That's kind of interesting because, you know, the Cleanse, it's obviously good against the stun from the Renekton. He took it twice into Renekton, but a big point of taking Camille is for her split pushing potential, right? And your ability to, you know, even if you're anywhere else on the map, you can try to teleport back in. You have very fast pushing later on in the game, but a lot of that is just taken away.
I think it's a mistake. He doesn't even have Nimbus Cloak. If he had Nimbus Cloak, maybe I'd be like, oh, he wants to make sure that he's never going to get ganked. But he doesn't even have Nimbus Cloak, dude.
Yeah, it's like he changed his runes, but not his
not his summoner spells.
You know?
And I mean, we've all been there. Let's be real.
This could also be where he's like, I am never, ever, ever joining a team fight.
Well,
I am only focusing on the side lane. But the thing is that the Camille doesn't really need Cleanse in the side lane after 3 or so items, right? She's going to be just fine. So, and it's not really going to work against, you know, someone else on the side of Hanwha Life that tries to gank him.
Hey, it means that he can happily take Ninja Tabi, right? And not worry about the CC as much, because of course you get that big boost in tenacity after using Cleanse.
Yeah. I said maybe this is like actually a 5-head moment.
Yeah, maybe it's like 6-head. Like it's so 5-head that no one even knows that it's 5-head and they think it's a mistake.
Yeah, just your whole face is a 4-head. Like,
yeah.
Even more so than the 5-head.
You've lost all of your features. You can't smell anything, can't see anything, can't taste anything.
Gigantic.
You've just got a huge brain.
Yeah, you don't need all of those sensory objects on your face. Just your brain does all the work, because you're so intelligent.
And you actually have like a whole bunch of extra senses that aren't sight and smell, because you've got all of this extra room in your gigantic brain for extra senses.
Temporal sensitivity.
Yeah. Something like that. Big word. Where's Brian?
Yeah, we need Brian back. We need to propagate the snowball right now.
Exactly. Where's our propagation? As Haru's coming down bottom side, that's first blood. So that's why you take Cleanse. He didn't use it. Teddy, he might have to flash and is going to do so. Hanwha Life unable to answer that one back. But that is a solo kill at under 3 minutes here, as there's a teleport and an immediate slice gets Dudu out of there. Okay, so Dudu not going to be missing out on too much, but the fact that a Camille just got first blood before, you know, the Renekton hit level 3, that's real bad news, because Renekton's an early game champion, everyone.
Yeah. His power against the Camille is here in the lane early on, but Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at the replay and see exactly how that happened. Dudu, very high up in terms of isolated deaths, but generally he is the one that does get some solo kills, as we saw from the stats before it did start the game. As here we're going to take another look at Canna's point of view.
Oh, he went aggressive.
Ooh, the second slice in there.
Oh, canceled a few autos there as well.
Yeah, so Renekton is really good at taking short bursty trades, right? You slice and dice in, you auto, you stun with the double auto attack, you spin with the extra rage, I think it's called, and then you slice out, right? Yeah. That's kind of like a basic Renekton combo. He sliced in, he kind of botched his combo, he went in again, and then he opted into a very extended trade against Camille, which is not something you want to do. Camille's Q is going to come back off a cooldown. She's eventually going to win out there. And that she did. So I think it was just a little bit of a mistake. He was obviously also taking a lot of damage from the minions as he went very far beyond the wave. So just a small misstep, I suppose you can say.
Yeah. Maybe just a matchup confusion type moment here for Dudu, but he's probably laned against Camille.
What is going on?
He's just going to int.
Hello?
Into Canna right here. Canna not going to overextend. Don't know why.
That's that cleanse. He wasn't expecting the cleanse.
Yeah, there we go.
6-head.
The cleanse mastermind right here. But Dudu does manage to push that mini wave right underneath the turret. Gets another back for a couple of long swords. And will walk back in. So perplexed as to what the double longsword is for. You're normally going to be rushing towards your Black Cleaver, but maybe not in this matchup. Maybe wanting to go for an earlier death stance.
Yeah, I think the Canna also
potentially
could be built here. It's a very common item that the Camille gets up against the Renekton, so maybe he wants to counteract some of that.
Dudu gonna throw a bit of damage into that shield as he slices forward once again, and Dice is on top of Canna. Can he actually trade back here? Doesn't get enough damage. Because Canna's hookshot is going to be on cooldown. That's the sweep, but what? Okay. This is still real dicey. Q going to come back, and so Dudu's going to get his health back. But this lane is just terrifying.
Yeah, he got level 6 too. The lane was pushing into Canna, so he's actually going to have to back here. And remember, no TP. So he's going to have to run all the way down the lane when the wave is pushing into him. He's like, oh, I desperately got to get out of here, but I need some health. And take a look at all the stuff that he's going to lose from not having TP. Like, yes, he's going to make it scary for Dudu to take trades, and he's going to have a bit of a better time with the cleanse and some of the trades. But at the end of the day, you know, you're losing more than a kill in terms of some of these minions that you're losing overall from not having the lane presence of the TP. So it's definitely a trade-off, and for points like that, it doesn't feel very good.
Yeah. But, I mean, he did manage to get back up there. Has himself a cheeky extra cloth armor as well. That will be built into the aforementioned Ninja Tabi as well. So just have to see how Canna is going to navigate this lane. T1 has started off the Dragon. It's going to be Ocean as our first one. No Ocean Soul this game is Haru. He's going to get spotted by the Hawkshot, taking his red buff. That means that Cuzz is easily able to secure this first Dragon. And look, this is good. Any objective play for T1 that we see is one that's going to make us feel good. There's a slice and a dice out of Dudu, who does have the Tiamat like you were talking about. This is going to give him shove advantage, and we'll be able to shove waves over and over again into the teleportless Camille's turret.
Hawkshot, really, I feel like he used to be underrated.
Dudu loves tanking turrets, like a lot. Ooh. No stun out of the hookshot, but yeah, still going to take a lot of damage from the second activation.
But yeah, that Hawkshot enables T1 to invade the blue, take it away. You see back pings actually around the blue buff too, so Haru is not even confident enough to run in there into his Gromp and take that away. So he's actually going up towards the top side. We also have the Rift Herald up, so he may want to focus on that. And there were a couple of pings onto Haru, so he might have been spotted on his way up towards the top side.
So much vision available for Hanwha on the top side of the map, though. Definitely good news for them, as Canna gets his passive back, but Haru looking for the Q. Finds it. Hookshot comes down. Canna's able to disengage. Now Hanwha Life, with this wave freed up, might be able to get towards this Rift Scuttler. Sorry, this Rift Herald. The Rift Scuttler's also about to respawn. Top lane priority going to give Hanwha Life inside track. It's definitely good news. No teleports on the bottom side of the map, so no one's going to be getting up here as Lehends has left the lane earlier and Viper has priority. So it looks like Hanwha, I mean, if Cuzz goes in here, it's just definitely a bad idea, right?
Mm-hmm. And thankfully, for his sake, I think, he's not going to go in there and he will not meet the ridicule of all of us watching. And so that is going to be given over to the side of Hanwha Life. Nice little objective. You could look to crash that in the top side.
Nice work from Cuzz. Goes over and steals away the Scuttler.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, the mid lane, do you really want to give all that extra gold over to the Karma, who has a very cheap build anyway? Or do you want to give this Renekton a little bit of chance at longevity? You could also consider going to the bottom side, which has been pretty equal up until this moment, and trying to get your Aphelios up to 200 years as fast as possible.
I wouldn't mind giving the plate gold over to Dudu. I feel like Aphelios staying in a laning phase for as long as possible feels alright, because you do want to get towards your 2 items before you really do too much. Don't mind that one. Also don't mind the mid lane purely just for the map control as Dudu. That's a good trade. There we go. He's figuring it out. Has that extra plate as well up here on top side. So still thinking that maybe the cleanse was a mistake. I don't know.
I'm curious to see how the later game stages will feel with the cleanse, and if he's
what's going to happen?
Split pushing.
We have to, like, Canna's going to be split pushing, and then while his split, the team fight like starts, we have to see whether cleanse just goes on cooldown. As here we are. All of that gold is going to go over to the Renekton, and Canna has to get the heck out of the lane. It's a decent bubble, but Faker still having to play back and has to use his flash immediately after his teleport. This has been some like weird play out of Faker today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice little gank from the side of Hanwha Life too. They were really committing to that one, the flash coming in from Lehends, and so it was kind of just a trade of flash, which is also always going to be good for the side of Hanwha Life. And yeah, he's able to get out of there. So, as you mentioned, they do give that gold over to Dudu. It also gives them first blood turret.
Ooh, that's a good bubble. Faker gonna find a paddle star, so softens up Mireu just a little bit, but he's calmer. He'll be fine. Teddy underneath the turret as this Ashe down by a little bit of farm, not necessarily able to go full agricultural here today like he has in the majority of his games. Teddy's farm is very, very good generally, but hasn't so far been out of control.
And I want to shout out to our good friend.
All right, in goes Cuzz. Yep, Mireu should be dead here. He flashes. That was never going to work out. Dredgeline onto Effort, who has picked up turret aggro, and able to flash at the very end. Is now Faker. Has to deal with Dudu as that Q from Haru was utterly stunning.
I don't understand. Why is he diving turret? Why? There's no point. He's like desperately trying to save Effort, who has flash. He's definitely going to get out. And then Faker does the same thing he did in game number 1 and just gives his life away. I really do not get it. A bit stunned right now. And we'll have to take another look at the replay and see. You know, I guess Effort wasn't expecting them to do that much damage and to kill him that fast, but
maybe
came in a little bit late at the same time.
Oh, Canna looking for another opportunity at a plate as Mireu's the one up here towards the top side. Dudu, bottom lane at the moment, trying to get even more plates. This Cuzz going to get chunked, and we have exactly the same order of dragons in this game.
Weird.
Yeah. Focused will here from Mireu, unable to proc the snare onto Cuzz. Lehends is just going to waddle his way up, but Effort's here as well. Dredgeline to try and get Lehends out. Hookshot doesn't get the stun, but there's the Hextech ultimatum as Mireu stays alive for a long time, but eventually will suffer his second death. Hanwha Life stealing all of the crockery on the bottom side of the map, but T1 with 4 members top lane without a minion wave should at least be able to grab a little bit more up there for themselves. Viper here in this mid lane up against Faker. Not too worried about that situation, but I'm The extra kill probably gives it in favor of T1, but this Crocodile is getting real scary. The amount of plate gold that he's got at the moment is nutty.
Yeah, they're going to take down that one before the plates do disappear, and the same could not be said about the top side as Mireu is going to TP in there and deny the Camille. The Camille is going to be extremely scary at the same time, 2-0, and she's going to pick up Trinity Force already. It's going to accelerate her build to get to that point where cleanse side pushing Camille is going to be incredibly difficult for Dudu to deal with, as this is really what I wanted to break down. So originally the 2-on-1, perfect. You got the kill, great. Effort, what is going on? He is very late on this one, and he's gonna bait Faker into saying, I need to save this guy, which absolutely he did not have to. I think Faker also wanted to pick up the flash, which I suppose that can be kind of a bait for Zoe players, feels kind of bad, but definitely a mistake there. And it's good. I mean, T1's composition, they're great at just running you down with Pantheon, Camille, Volibear. You're not going to get away from that as a Karma without flash. Very simple pickup, as Mireu should have just not been there in the first place.
Yeah. That's going to be his second death of the game very, very quickly. Much earlier when it comes to some of these kills this game, which is definitely good. But the gold entirely even. 2.5 minutes on that Infernal Drake approximately. As Dudu getting chunked here. Trinity Force complete from Canna, so he's going to be very happy like you were talking about. But there is a Black Cleaver onto the Crocodile.
You were talking about all of the plates that Dudu had picked up. I believe he was actually ahead 700 gold, even though Camille is 2-0. It doesn't matter, because that little bit of extra CS and all of those plates and the first blood turret gold is nice.
The Dominus out of Dudu, and that is a shorter trade. That's what we were talking about, but it's ultimate on cooldown. And now possible danger here as Faker.
He knows it.
Oh no. Yeah, and there's also going to be a Pantheon as Canna has found it. And he's going to be able to lock down the kill. Got pretty close. Haru going to answer with Shirley on the top side, but lower value. There's 5 plates top, 5 plates bot. Double the plate damage here for Hanwha, but they're still behind 100 gold.
They gave that kill over to Canna. Very important. He needs to catch up to this Renekton and start dominating the side lane. That's always going to feel good for T1. The second Rift Herald's not going to be as much value, you could say, as that side push and the extra kill that was given over to Canna. They will be able to take out this mid-tier 1, which is definitely going to feel good, especially with Infernal Soul available. But Camille is kind of getting out of hand as this game comes along.
The thing that I'm worried about is the 200 years factor here for T1, because there is the Athene's completed now on Mireu. He's going to have the Ardent Sensor eventually. This is going to be an Aphelios that's very, very frightening. Doesn't have 2 items just yet, but when they come in, you best believe that T1 are going to have to make sure that they fight exactly around what this guy's doing. As Dudu, he just didn't want to, you know, take that extra aggressive step, and instead, like notices that there are a lot of people coming down.
Yeah, he's really hesitating a bit there, and we're gonna see.
살았다 이거. 잡았다 이거.
We got him. And there's a lot of talk in the background too, as they were all talking about rotating down the bottom side. Dudu has to be more confident in taking those hard-on trades and just going straight in, as they're gonna be spotted here in the brush. Yeah, left to back away. But he knew they were all rotating down, so he knew by the time they were all going to get there, he was going to die, so he might as well just gone all in on the trade, but kind of faltered there a little bit.
Ooh, Dudu getting chunked. Bubbled up as well, but there's a minion wave in position. Okay, Gravitum's going to land. Max range dredge line there from Lehends, but Effort going to keep himself safe as Haru finds the kickback onto the Ashe. Absolutely amazing. Moonlight Vigil comes down now as it's Viper's time to shine. The only 80 carry left. Somehow Dudu lives through the power of, you know, just having Q and also the Inspire shield. And this should be the first Infernal going over to Hanwha if they have the confidence. Looks like they don't, as Faker's got a lot of flashes to pick up. Finds a bubble onto the Aphelios, but no follow-up here as Lehends is going to block the Paddle Star. And Effort, he's got the Grand Skyfall very, very soon. Mireu not going to be found there. Bubble also going to go wide. As T1 are sticking around, they have the health bar advantage. As Lehends, he just can't make the decision whether to go back or not. Dudu does have a big health bar now. As Mireu with some mantras coming back off cooldown. Might be able to help his team out here as there's the teleport in from Faker.
I think if you're Hanwha, you got to give this up. You're a little bit too low, and Faker TPing back. You see he commits to the TP to make sure that he's 100% mana. And they are, in fact, I believe in this circumstance, going to make the right move. They give that one away. They were able to get a decent amount of gold from some of the kills that they did pick up. But again, slowly but surely, Canna picks up another kill. And now he's 4-0 and is just a true menace in that side lane. But got to see the replay here. This is an unbelievable display of mechanical skill from Haru, as it all starts with 200 gears who roots down effort, and then just out of nowhere, he's like in mid lane when he starts this. It's crazy. As the Q, he waited until the last moment to pull it off, and you could see that T1 were totally caught off guard.
Effort got so close to dying here as well, which could have actually meant that Hanwha Life would have been able to start that Drake, knowing that it's 4 versus 3. But Cuzz was alive and Haru wasn't, so it does make it much more difficult to go for that one. So you can understand why Hanwha made the decision. And it looks like Mireu is building towards the Ardent Sensor now, so that's going to be a huge spike because it will come in alongside the Runar's Hurricane for Viper. And this, remember, is still a comp from T1 that does play into Aphelios quite a bit. One of those dangerous compositions. Into the 200 years.
Yeah, this is definitely a comp that Ellis would be molding at. If he saw it in the draft, the final Camille Pantheon pick straight into the Aphelios after what they had already drafted. Was kind of curious as, here we go.
Here goes Dudu. Clears out the minion wave very effectively, whilst trying to get a bit of harass damage onto Canna. Haru unable to really follow up with too much. As Lehends, very close, just grabs himself the beach ball. An effort not going to quite find the Q there, so Spear's going to go wide. 3 minutes until the Infernal Drake, number 2, is going to be available. As Canna does find himself a stun onto Dudu, and look, yeah, now the Renekton's going to have a real struggle here in this lane. And is going to continue to do so as the Grand Skyfall gets effort that kill. And T1 playing around these side lanes really nicely at this point in time.
Yeah, and they collapse really quickly, so it's not like Hanwha Life can just run at Baron or anything like that. It's gonna take too long. They don't have any vision around there, and that's the proactivity that you need to have if you are going to draft this kind of a composition into an Aphelios. You got to play around your strong points, your side lanes. And that is exactly what they're doing. Not the first time that Dudu has been bullied there in the side lane. You can see that Haru is just going to have to take the reins on holding this, but he's going to get burst.
Yeah. Half health just from one combo. As now Faker finds the bubble onto Haru. Doesn't even make it into the base gate. He's very dead. Faker trying to redeem himself here. 22 minutes into this game. T1 is starting to run away with this one. Feels like there is some stability returning to this squad as Dudu is going to slice his way out. And T1, they just want to continue this push on the bottom side of the map. They are going to be able to break this open. Everyone is backing on the side of Hanwha Life. Just more proactive, more aggressive. T1 success. It feels like the last 5 minutes have just been entirely about them.
Yeah, they're really doing a good job there on that side lane. There's really not much that Hanwha Life can do with this weak side of the lane. The Renekton, the R5, we talk about it so much. Yeah, it had a little bit of fun early on, and now you're not having much fun, are you, Mr. R5? He's just getting dominated. There's nothing he can do. And the second that Cuzz comes over, you just know it's over. As effort just makes sure.
나 한번 볼게. 수면 볼게 이거. 가는 중. 카메 공대. 오케이.
So we're going to watch Faker
나 살짝 암살볼게 이거.
find the Lee Sin.
거의 잡았다.
You gotta love the vision on the portal jump.
나 넣고 이거 용 2분.
Pretty ridiculous.
It is.
You can see over many walls. And yeah, he was saying, yeah, I gotta get the smite. let me look for a potential pick. And then I got him. Pretty much it. So yeah, it's finally starting to look a bit better here on the Zoe.
It will come a time for Teddy to do stuff. It's not now. Doesn't really want to do stuff just yet. Wants to eat some popcorn chicken, move back to this mid lane. It's not a lot of damage out of him. Runans is complete here for Viper, as Faker gonna have to go golden as the depth charge was heading towards him. In goes Haru, looking for the kickback, and it is onto Faker. Viper should be able to help take down that kill as now Cuzz trying to run for the hills. They are respecting Canna, as you can see, but Teddy's free hitting, and Dudu's just walking at him. Nothing he can really do. The Pantheon's going to be taken down, though, and Lehends goes golden. Viper chasing after Canna, who gets over the wall. Moonlight Vigil not going to find him. There's a control ward, but unable to get over. As you can see, Viper didn't want to waste his flash. A lot of value there from the Sky Strike out of Cuzz. This should be Hanwha Life able to grab their first Infernal Drake. And Haru alive this time, able to secure it. Effort and Faker fall. No, only Dudu going to be sacrificed as, okay, in goes Cuzz to try and grab that kill. Mireu's going to be the first one to be taken down, and Viper has the onslaught, but he doesn't have the health bar. And the huge bear is going to pop off. Canna jumps on top of the Lee Sin, and Faker launches in from the side. He'll have a lot of sparkles to deliver to Lehends. And now, T1 might be able to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's 20 seconds, 25 seconds here. Only Dudu is available. So I think he just has to try to get into the back line and take out the minions and somehow not die. Not going to be an easy feat for him.
Yeah, he wants to kill the minion wave, as you can see. He picked up a stopwatch, but there are still some creeps alive. And T1 grabbed the aggro. They're going to try and keep these creeps alive. They're not even going to have to worry about it. Arrow's going to secure Mireu in his fountain, and T1 return in kind. The type of victory Hanwha served